HDBeenDope. I am so excited to chat with you. You are a super talented rapper. You're on the rise right now. You have so much going on. I mean, you have a new single dropping. You have a major label signing in the works. I've seen you on social media. You're super active. You're always doing freestyles. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot on the way. And so I'm excited about everything that's coming, but I'm excited about everything that I'm working on as well. So I just feel excited.
I bet. Let's get right into it and let's just chat about your upcoming new single, Wake 'em Up. So it's pretty much a wake up call to everybody that's been sleeping on you. Tell me about it.
Yeah, wake them up. It came from a space of the place that the whole project comes from. You know what I mean? And essentially is it was me. I think on the journey you have to deal with, do you really want to do this? You know what I'm saying? There's that moment back against the wall. What are you gonna do? Fight or flight type of situation, and wake them up came from that. You know, it's just channeling all that angst, all that pressure, all that everything that you have to deal with, just trying to level up as a person. Like, I'm not talking about as a rapper. I'm just talking about as a person, trying to figure out how do I take, from where I'm at, how do I create something that I'm seeing in my head? You know what I'm saying? How do I make that a reality? And that process, sometimes, it beats you up. And some people, it's like, I sound weak by this. But for me, it was like channeling all that energy and making myself and the listeners feel that feeling of like, okay, it's go time. It's time to win. People, the world gotta recognize it's not about me. It's in me already. It's up to you guys, and I'm gonna make sure you see it. You know.
That's awesome to hear. I can't help but notice how articulate and well enunciated you are. I mean, obviously, we hear that in your freestyles and everything that you drop, but also I know that there have been comparisons to early Kendrick and you. How does
Mm.
that feel?
I mean, that's cool. I feel like comparisons make people it's for people to like kind of feel comfortable. Essentially, it's like, okay, this is not something completely foreign. I can connect it to this thing, and it makes people feel comfortable. So I feel like that's cool. The fact that people are comparing me to somebody that they deem great, it's like, all right, well, how could
Yeah,
what can I really say about that? Like, okay, cool. But I know the path that I'm forging, So I'm just excited to see for people to see what it ends up as.
so correct me if I'm wrong, but you are from Brooklyn, so East
Yeah,
Coast born and bred.
yeah, for sure.
How much does the East Coast impact your sound and your music? I know you were very into the drill scene and everything, but how does the East Coast and that sound impact what you're doing?
I mean, I think New York right now currently is, the premier sound is drill music. I think the main thing that the East Coast and New York, Brooklyn specifically, has an impact on my music is the energy. You know what I mean? In New York, people are like deemed as aggressive. That's what everybody says. New Yorkers are so aggressive. But I look at it like all that is like I'm in my spot and you're not gonna move me. Like people deem that as aggression, but it's like, no, this is my space. And that's essentially what the music is. You feel that in the music. This is my space. You're not gonna move me. And I think that's where you get the New York. All the songs, no matter what the song sounds like, that's the energy. You feel that.
I love that. I love that distinction between aggression because I feel like we do hear that a lot, especially with drill music. I like your use of the word energy because I
Yeah,
think that is the right description of it.
1,000,000%.
Let's talk about your free verses for a while. So you've been doing a lot of free verses. They're amazing, but one in particular that stood out to me is your Hours and Hours free verse.
Word.
When I hear that beat, it's such an interesting beat to me to do a freestyle over. But it blended so perfectly. Your flow, it was like it was your actual song.
Word.
What made you decide to do that? And what makes you decide to do a free verse over a beat?
So for me, I like music. I just like listening to music. I like listening to songs that inspire me, and every free verse was something that like I was listening to this song, like, oh, wait a minute, this is hard. I love this. What would it sound like if I was to add something to it? That's where all of them came from. And that one specifically, I was listening to that song. I was in Puerto Rico listening to that shit on
Oh,
repeat.
wow.
This song is so good. And I was in the shower and I just started coming up with the concept of love sounds like, and then, that juxtaposition. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this as soon as I get home. You know what I mean? And that's where that one spawned from.
What is the most satisfying part, do you think, of not even just free verses, but when you make music in general? What's the most satisfying part for you?
Coming up with the concept is definitely the part. It's coming up with the concept and performing it. Those are the two highlights for me, because when that concept, the possibilities are so endless and the idea is so perfect, because when you first come up with it, you have it exactly what it's going to look like in your head. Once you do the process, things start to look a little bit different, you know what I mean, because it's just
Yeah.
human touch. But that thing that when you first come up with the idea of something, it's like, yo, it's so perfect. And then performing it is like, you can channel all of that energy, because remember, I was like, coming up with the idea is the highlight, and then everything through it is the process, right? Process is everything. Is that you're everywhere in the process, and I feel like being that you got to go through that, I get to channel all of that energy into the show. You get what I'm saying? So that you get
Yeah.
to see that, and it's like almost like a release every time. So I love those two parts of making music.
That's so exciting to hear. I guess with that being said, what was your favorite part of the process or the most significant part for Wake 'em Up?
Wake them up. Wow. So I went up to Beacon. That's where Dizzy was, right? So we go up there and he plays that beat. He's just playing me a bunch of beats, but that beat comes on and I'm just like, whoa, that's that's aggressive. But you remember, because I'm in that space, that's the mindset that I'm in. And I like that. This is like the energy felt like, oh, the beat is telling me, like I felt like the beat was looking me in the face, like what are you doing? What are you gonna do? Move. Like that's how I felt. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what I need. This is exactly what I need. If the beat makes me feel like that and I'm already feeling like that, this is gonna be a perfect marriage. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a storm. And I feel like that's exactly what Wake 'em Up is. Like you hear it and it's like, whoa, yeah.
That's awesome. I have one last question for you because I know we're coming up on time and I know you are a busy, busy person right now. But what's in store for the rest of the year? What can we expect from you?
The rest of the year is gonna be great. Obviously, Wake 'em Up is on the way next week, but next week we got another single, we got a project, we got music, we got music, we got music, we got music and videos. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy the visual component. That's an important piece of it. Even what we was talking about, the free verses. That's something we made sure that the visuals were something that was eye grabbing and things like that. So we gonna make sure that the visuals is right. Everything is just gonna be fire. So a lot of music on the way.
I love that. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how much more you accomplish. I can't wait for the new music dropping next week. It's going to be so exciting. But thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Not for real. Thank you.